You've always heard that you need to invest, but you don't know where to begin.
Don't worry, leave that to us. We've been teaching people how to invest for the last 8 years and have helped over 45,000 people get started with investing in a simple way. And now we've made the process even easier by creating a course that teaches you how to get started investing in 5 simple steps. And it's called our L.E.A.R.N method.
Before you invest, you need to 1. Look at your financial position. 2. Establish your personal goals. 3. Assess your investment options. 4. Research the best options for you. And 5. Normalize investing regularly.
With these 5 easy steps, you can start your investment journey with confidence and clarity. But wait, there's more. We've created templates and resources to help you take action right away. After this course, you will know how much you have to invest, your investment targets and timelines, and how to invest to achieve your goals. Register now at learngrowinvestclub.com.
All right, hope everybody is doing great. All right, so I had another topic planned for tonight, but I changed course a little bit. Hope that's okay. And yeah, good night, everyone. Good to see everybody up as late as I am. Right? When your sons take a while to go to bed, then you don't have a choice, right? You have to do these kind of streams. So let me know if you can hear me okay before I get started. A couple of things I want to go through tonight. Let me do this first. Yeah, let me know if you can hear me all right out there. I need to know if this needs to go higher or not. And this is not staying still. Okay. All right, thanks. Okay, so I want to talk about L.E.A.R.N. So let me load the notice up. All right, so this is the notice that came out today. So when I had my video planned and I saw this notice, I was like, maybe I can speak about this instead, because we know that it was the stock was suspended for a while, and so I think the community was kind of waiting to see what would have happened. And so this notice was released today. The Jamaica Stock Exchange has lifted the suspension of trading in the ordinary shares of EduFocal Limited, L.E.A.R.N, effective Friday, December 5, 2025, as L.E.A.R.N has submitted their financials, both audited and unaudited financial statements. EduFocal L.E.A.R.N trades with the symbol L.E.A.R.N on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. All right, so that's what we see here. Now we also saw their unaudited numbers for the second quarter ended June 30th. So I believe the third quarter will be coming soon. So let's look at the third quarter numbers, and I'll talk about, how I think tomorrow will go for the company in terms of trading. All right, so before you even ask me, I have reached out to Gordon for an interview, so that is pending a date. So once that is confirmed, you'll see it here. So I'm going to start with the P&L first. That's how I do my analysis. I look at P&L first, and then I work my way back, right? So the audited for 2024, 97 million in revenue, and it's seeing profits here, and earnings would have been here negative 57 million. Negative 8 cents EPS, and it says adjusted earnings before interest, tax, depreciation, and amortization. That says here negative 11 million, right? Is there anything below here? No, that's the other statement. So I look at the 6 months really for 2025. That's what I'm going to focus on here, and how it would have compared to last year, all right? And then I'll say any other notes are so that's included. And then we go through that, right? Usually there's an MD&A. I don't think I saw one, but I'll check to see what we see there. So revenue here shows 43 million, down from 61. We have admin expenses, I believe this line. Yep, I'm down from 71, so they've reduced their admin expenses there. Depreciation is at 837,000, down from 7 million, and impairment loss on trade and other receivables stands at 11.25 million, up from 6.6 million here. Then we have operating profit being 15 million, which is a reversal of the loss of 24 million for 6 months of 2024. Then you have finance income here, finance costs. So I'll check the balance sheet to see what they're paying back here, but there's a finance cost here of 16 million. And profit before tax, negative 816,000. That is an improvement from the negative 37 million here. And then we have the net profit, which is minus 816,000. All right. So, I mean, I would say, let me see here. Adjusted the adjusted earnings before interest, tax, depreciation, and amortization being 16 million here. Okay. So that's for the 6 months. On the 3 month side, revenue was at 13 million as opposed to 30. And the 3 months for June were profitable here, 523,000. All right. So the finance cost is still there, which is 9 million. I think the balance sheet may show what the liabilities are. I'll check to see. I don't know if this, I know they had borrowed 200 million from Mayberry. I don't know if that's what this is. I'll check to see if there are any notes on what this debt is. Accounts payable, 119 million. Current portion of long-term loans being 91 million. And we have share capital, accumulated deficit of 313 million. And then PP&E, well, I mean, based on the type of company, PPE number is going to be low. Intangible assets, I'm assuming that's like software, IP, different, things like that at 162 million. And receivables and prepayment, 38 million. Director's account, 26. And cash equivalents, 385,000, right? So it'd be good to see how these might have, whether improved or declined for the Q3, because we're looking at this would be June 30th would be 6 months ago or 5 months ago. There's certainly another quarter that would want to see here before we can make a proper assessment. I'd probably want to see what the numbers were before this, but just going through what we have here to see. And then cash flow here, there's bad debt written off of 11.25 million. Impairment losses on financial assets of 15 million. Interest expense of 16 million here. Decrease or increase of in director's accounts for 11 million. So cash provided by operating activities, negative 13 million, and purchase of intangible assets at 5 million. I don't know if this is again related to maybe software. We can maybe ask about that when we do the interview here. So long-term loans here, 14 million. So some financing coming into the company to maybe provide capital here. Due from related parties, 3 million. So net cash provided by financing activities, 16 million here. And then we see cash flow at the start and the end of the year. All right. So I'm looking to see if there are any notes here, but I'll read through this so we can kind of remind ourselves of the structure of the company. So EduFocal Limited is a limited liability company incorporated and domiciled in Jamaica. The principal activities of the group are to provide proprietary learning platforms and e-courses for individuals and organizations. On March 15th, the company was listed. We all remember that. The following statements present the results of operations and financial positions of the company and its subsidiary, which are referred to as the group, right? So there's EduFocal LLC, incorporated in the US. There's EduFocal Africa and EduFocal Nigeria. I know they would have done an acquisition of Clever School Teacher. I'm not seeing that here, so maybe we'll ask about that. I don't know if they would have referenced it in the past. I'd have to check. Basis of preparation here. Trade receivables at 50 million here as opposed to 28 at December 31st. So I'll go through. I'm trying to see information on the debt. These are the top 10 shareholders as at June 30th. I don't believe there's not much I would have changed here. If I'm mistaken here. Okay, so I'm not seeing any info on the debt. Let me check a previous report because I think that's what it may be. But I just wanted to be sure. So financial statements. I'm looking for their Q1 here. And this is the Q1. All right, so revenue for the Q1. Well, I won't go through that. I'll look to see if we. Yeah, they had an MD&A for Q1. I remember that much. Okay, so this one says the board of directors is pleased to present its unaudited, condensed, consolidated financials for the first quarter. And for the 3 months, the realized revenues of 29 million, which remain relatively flat compared to the 30 million earned in Q1 2024. Notably, the team has continued to invest heavily in Amigo, a new initiative designed to drive scalable recurring income through a modernized business model. I'll skip over some of those to speak about the divisions really. So Amigo in particular is extremely important to our future, and we have invested heavily in its development. So that may be what the intangible asset cost was in terms of cash flow from investing activities, I think. Maybe that's where the funds went. Early feedback from potential customers has been extremely positive, and we anticipate immediate opportunities to leverage this software beyond Jamaica. This investment underscores our commitment to driving top and bottom line growth through innovative educational solutions, right? Okay, so it's with the closure of the academy and the acquisition of Clever School Teacher, I remember that. EduFocal Nigeria and Africa, the divisions remain committed to widening the group's footprint in these territories. The group is confident in its strategic plan to revitalize its financial outcomes. The management team is actively addressing these challenges to mitigate any further associated risk, which will in turn steer the division to sustained growth and profitability. While the group continues to operate at a net loss, the significant improvements in EBITDA, cost control, and operating margins are promising indicators of recovery. The management team remains confident in its strategic plan to return to profitability, emphasizing disciplined execution, increased software adoption, and regional expansion. All right. And this speaks to their financial position. We remain firmly committed to reversing this downturn and improving our operational efficiencies. We are focused on strategic initiatives aimed at driving growth and increasing shareholder value. We are taking decisive actions to address the areas of concern and are confident in our ability to navigate these difficulties, leveraging our strengths and opportunities. As always, we are grateful for the continued support of our stakeholders and are dedicated to delivering on our promises. All right, and then we had this report here. I won't go through this because this would be Q1. I don't want to go too far back. Same there. I'm looking to see if it mentions the debt here. Due to during the reporting period, a legal matter resulted in a default judgment against the company in the amount of 3.36 million plus interest. The company has filed an application to set aside the judgment, which remains pending. Okay, management, based on advice from legal counsel, believes that there are reasonable grounds for the judgment to be set aside and will continue to monitor the matter to make adjustment necessary. And that would be the shareholding again. So that would be it. So, all right. So, and we see where, let me go back here. I believe trading would have paused earlier this year. So let me see. So up until it was sometime in May, so June 2nd here is registered as the last day here. So I think it traded on that day from June 2nd. So we saw where it would have started the year at 32 cents, currently trading at 22 cents. So it's down year to date, 39%, almost 40% here. So I do think that, yes, guys, late night stream, I did warn about this, right? So you're going to see a lot of streams popping up over the next couple of days. So you want to turn on notifications, you want to subscribe. I will be doing some very random, very late live streams over the next couple of weeks. Because my workload is a little bit lighter for like a week or two at work. And so I'm going to try to maximize that time. Yes, Chris, I said, note my comment said, I'm not going to cover that topic tonight. It doesn't mean that I wasn't going to go live. All right. All right. So, yeah, so I do think that it is interesting for EduFocal, I'd say. So what I think is that, so I like to give the company the opportunity to see what they're going to do in terms of, because Q1 certainly sounded promising in terms of them, you know, like I liken it to like a turning of the ship, right? Like a Titanic kind of thing where, well, how business works from my experience, change takes time, you know, the kind of things that you want to do to improve the business model or optimize the model or test new ideas, it takes time, right? So certainly from the company would have been suspended. It's been a long time. So this report doesn't reflect what would have happened over the last few months. And so I think I'd love to see that Q3 report. I'd love to hear from the CEO of the company to understand where they are now. What are they working on? What the future of the company looks like, and you know, things of that nature, right? So it's going to be hard to say honestly how investors will feel tomorrow, right? That's the thing to think about here. How will investors feel? I certainly think that there are a lot of opportunities for the company to kind of get back on track, start to grow the business from where it is. It really depends on what's their core focus, where the revenues going to be you know, coming from, and so on, right? So Ryan is saying, I see a lot of talk about the bad debt write-off. Let me go back to that here, Q2. Let me find it. Yeah, that was the 11.25 million. That's what I'm talking about, Ryan. This one here at 11.25 million. I did notice it, but again, I don't have any details on it. Was that from a client? Well, I'm assuming it might have been receivables that maybe they're not able to collect. Don't know if it's public sector. The total here. This is what you're talking about, Ryan, right? The 11.25 million. What are you seeing about it? I mean, I was gonna say for me, I don't. Well, yeah, I'd love to understand what is. Yeah, I mean, it would be good to get context on that one, of course. Or okay. I see it. Oh my gosh, how did I miss that? Thank you, sir. Thank you. That is a significant amount for sure. I don't know. You know what? I usually focus on the P&L for the audited number. I did not see that. That is a significant amount of debt for sure. I wonder where that is from. Yeah, wow, that's thanks for that, Ryan. Again, I don't know how I missed it. That's what happens when you do like a quick glance through on a stream. Thank you for that. Let me see. Well, it would have been for last year. Did they have any? Because if it's for last year, it would be in the audited financials, right? I'm going to see if I can find any notes on it. Thank you for that, Ryan. I'm looking for notes on it. Okay, bad debt written off. Yeah, see it here in the cash flow statement for this one. So it's certainly here, bad debt written off. I don't know if they mention it. Receivables. Do you know if there were any details on it in the report? Trying to do some speed reading here. I'm looking to see if there is any mention of it. Management intends to introduce a rights issue to raise 250 million to secure large contracts for 200 million and seeks restructuring of loans from creditors to help with cash flow. I do remember mention of this. Trying to see if there's any mention of the bad debt write-off. Did I miss something there? Trade receivables recognized. On a confirmation that a trade receivable will not be collectible, the gross carrying value of the asset is written off against the associated provision, right? That's it. It doesn't speak to the writing off of the debt. So I'm missing something here. Yeah, that's certainly a significant amount, Ryan. Thanks for pointing that out. I think I might have seen it when I looked at the audited the first time, but yeah, I'm not seeing any mention of it. Might be something that, is it here? Increasing allowance, there's a 214 million. Expected receivables. Trade receivables are written off when there is no reasonable expectation of recovery. Indicators that there's no reasonable expectation of recovery include, amongst others, the failure of a debt or to engage in a repayment plan with the company, and a failure to make contractual payments for a period of greater than 90 days past due. So, yeah, it's trying to see if there's anything that it speaks to specifically about the debt. I mean, because that's a sizable number. I don't know if it's one client. It shows that it's 90 days past due here. I mean, that amount of debt, trade receivables, left unexpected credit. Yeah, that's certainly going to be one of the questions to ask. Ryan, thank you for that. Right. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it would be good to have some color on that to understand if that's a single client, if that's multiple clients. Is that, I know sometimes, for example, that companies will write off debt because of bookkeeping, and then they'll still try to recover it. I remember Dollar said something like that. So it's interesting to see that. I did not remember about that. So, and we've also seen, of course, we've gotten, a number of statements in terms of different persons who might have, stepped down or different transitions for the company. So I'm really curious to see what the future looks like. I'd love to hear what the vision is, if it's still the same, if that has been updated, how they're planning to navigate, where they've been, what's the state of the team now, who is there in terms of maybe the core companies, etc. What are the state of the overseas operations? What's happening with Clever School Teacher Effort, for example. So a lot of questions really. So as I was saying before, Ryan pointed out the debt is, I'd be curious to see how investors respond, right? How will investors feel about the company? Those who would have been waiting a few months in terms of the suspension. Because here's what I always say, right? So there's always going to be somebody. There's always two sides to a trade. So if there are investors that are moving on, there are persons who are coming on board saying that maybe they're bullish on the future of the company. So I'm very curious to see how it will trade tomorrow in that respect. So yeah, it's yeah. Anything else that I missed, Ryan? Because Ryan caught that very important thing there that I did not. Cliff saying, I want to sell my units, never again with this one. Oh, so let me ask that question, right? Let me ask that question now. Are you currently a L.E.A.R.N shareholder? And then I'll ask you as well, what do you think about the future of the company, right? So I'd love to hear those two things, right? So one, are you a shareholder now? And two, what do you think about the future of the company, right? Let me know, where you think the company is headed. I'm seeing Ricardo on stream here on Instagram. Seeing David Rose. David Rose, we need to talk, man. It's been a while, right? All right. So our stock ever gone to $0 before 1 cent? Not that I'm aware of. I think the lowest price stock I've seen is probably like a Siboney. That's the lowest I've seen. I don't think I've seen, because Siboney, I think, has been at like 8 cents, 9 cents. Ryan says, I will hold for the long term. Okay, so Ryan, you're currently a shareholder and you're gonna hold. Okay, cool. So Lovane says, I think he will halt down. Okay. So I do think, so here's the thing, right? I really do think that, so once we have seen many situations where once a company is listed, there's an opportunity to recover. There's an opportunity to change the model. I mean, once listed, there's always an opportunity there. So for me, I would just love to kind of see and understand. I mean, just from a curiosity perspective, to see where things are, understand and hear from the company directly. I don't know when their AGM is planned for. Let me see if there's an AGM notice here. Did I miss the AGM? So it mentioned the rights issue in the audited report. I'm not sure if they're still planning to do that. Okay, their AGM was held February 21st, 2025. Was it recorded? I don't think I saw it. I'm not sure. So this is my hope and dream, that every single company, every single AGM investor briefing is recorded and made available, right? That's my earnest desire here, right? So they passed these resolutions for the AGM. Okay, so the AGM was earlier this year, so they'll have another AGM in a few months, so maybe we can see more there. Yeah, so I'm very curious to see how it will trade. I mean, Lovane says that he thinks that it will halt down, but yeah, I mean that doesn't. I mean, a halting down one day, it's and then you move on, right? So, okay, so Phil is hopeful. So yeah, I mean, you never know. You never know. Once a company is listed, there's a company I will not talk about that is certainly proof that things can turn around, right? Yeah, so that's just what I wanted to say here. I will be tracking this one closely to see how the next few days goes, and certainly will wait for that Q3 report. I think it may be, well, it's definitely due. It was due from November, so maybe we'll see that one by the end of the year. When I get the Q3, I'll certainly be going through that one as well, and see. But I do say that it's, oh, okay. Yeah, Phil, it would be just, it's a thing, right? Every single AGM should be recorded, right? Because you can only fit so many investors in one room, right? Even if you choose the largest venue, maybe you have 100 people. So we need all the, I believe the JSC would have to mandate the recording of AGMs. It would definitely upgrade our markets to another level. Yes. So, I mean, as a company that operates in the investor relations space, I would love to see that. Certainly, we're willing to provide support for any company wanting to record their AGMs. Just putting that out there for any company listening. I was told that there are CEOs who are listed that listen to our program. Won't call any names, but that's interesting to be reminded of. I'm waiting for a certain CEO to join me on my show for the first time, for us to have a conversation, and just to, yeah, it's a company I've always wanted to cover, but never have had the chance to. So if it works out, I'll keep you posted. I did meet Mark Williams from Kingston Wharfs at the JC Best Practices Awards last year. I met him, I took his card. I did not call him. That's on me. So I need to reach out and see if he's available to meet. I'd love to interview them. Yeah, Phil. So EduFocal, once it remains listed, there is hope. Once it's tradable, there's a market. Exactly, right? And for it to halt down, Lovine, somebody has to buy, right? Somebody has to be on the other side saying that, they think there's hope. So the thing that would concern me is more no trading than a halting down, because halting down means there's an order on the other side, right? So yeah. All right, so I'll do the video read the construction stocks tomorrow. I wasn't necessarily prepared for that. I'm a little bit tired is what I'll say. But I wanted to at least talk about this. I do want to mention as well, we're almost finished with our L.E.A.R.N level 1 course. I know you won't say don't Jermaine, I just know persons have been locked in waiting. If a stock is suspended, there are persons who want to maybe do something with that capital. That is, yeah, for sure. Okay, I see that reasoning for sure. So let me share my screen again. Every day this week, we've released a module for our L.E.A.R.N level 1 course. And so the final module is gonna be, I scaled up the wrong screen here. Let me do that. So we uploaded the 4th module today. It's about research. So basics of stock market research, how to buy stocks. So check out this free course inside the LGI community. Just register using the link in the description and you can learn how to invest for free, right? So module 5 will be loaded tomorrow and that'll be the entire level 1 course teaching our L.E.A.R.N framework. And so very excited to get your feedback. 126 persons have registered so far and some persons have completed everything already. So, kudos to those persons who have done that. So I'm looking forward to how the year will start. We also have more persons joining our community. So we have 2,288 members now. We had a little above 2,200 at the start of the week. So you can sign up for the course for free, join our level 1 community. Come in, introduce yourself and start talking, right? Of course, the challenge is having its very final session next week, Saturday. So the challenge is being retired for our level 2 and level 3 programs. And we just wrapped up a portfolio makeover challenge. So the persons who did that challenge have access to the recordings until Saturday. And then, of course, we have level 2, which, of course, you have to be in the group to see what we are discussing. So if you're a level 2 member, just start introducing yourself because we start in January. And then for level 3 is being built out and we have persons who are ready to go for level 3. All right. So, yeah, looking forward to seeing how that goes. So remember to register and I will see you in our level 1 meetup, right? Because we're going to have a meetup for persons, answer questions, help them to navigate the course, that kind of thing. And then for level 2 and level 3, we meet monthly starting January. And you will see us in terms of our regular content here on YouTube, but not as much for next year. We'll do mostly pre-recorded videos for next year. We will still try to do some lives at least once per week, but our focus, of course, is going to be inside the community. That's why we wanted to register. That's why we wanted to sign up for the courses, etc. Because inside the community is going to be your way to connect with us going forward, because we're going to be spending more time there to ensure that we are maintaining a certain level of engagement. So yeah, I just wanted to say that before I wrap up. So again, waiting for the Q3 report to see what it says. And let me ask the question again. What do you think will be the future of the company, right? What do you think? Where do you think they'll be a year from now? Where do you think they'll be 5 years from now? I do think that the beauty about a software company, which is kind of how I see them, like edtech software, that kind of thing. There's always an opportunity to pivot, create a new product, enter new markets, work with new clients, that kind of thing. Once their relationships are strong, once their network or credibility of the brand is still there, then there are opportunities. Of course, that's where rebranding comes in. If that's the case, we haven't seen any major rebrand or anything like that, which means I believe they're still able to move forward with the brand that they have. It's just now to hear from Gordon to see what the plans are for them moving forward. All right. All right. Hopefully everybody is doing well. I'll see you on the next one. So I'll be back here tomorrow to talk about construction stocks. Would I be online Saturday? Not Saturday, but definitely Monday, maybe Tuesday, maybe Wednesday of next week. So subscribe again, turn on notifications. We're gonna do some pop-up streams for sure over the next couple of weeks. So I'll see you again real soon. Let me check Instagram if there are any questions. I keep forgetting to go live on TikTok. I was supposed to go live on TikTok when I started this stream. I did not remember, but please remember to follow us on TikTok. We have grown our user base on TikTok. And so thanks to a faithful follower who gave us a shout out, and so we have been making some strides on that platform. All right, everybody, enjoy the rest of your night. I'll see you in the next video. You've always heard that you need to invest, but you don't know where to begin.
Don't worry, leave that to us. We've been teaching people how to invest for the last 8 years and have helped over 45,000 people get started with investing in a simple way. And now we've made the process even easier by creating a course that teaches you how to get started investing in 5 simple steps. And it's called our L.E.A.R.N method.
Before you invest, you need to 1, look at your financial position. 2, establish your personal goals. 3, assess your investment options. 4, research the best options for you. And 5, normalize investing regularly.
With these 5 easy steps, you can start your investment journey with confidence and clarity. But wait, there's more. We've created templates and resources to help you take action right away. After this course, you will know how much you have to invest, your investment targets and timelines, and how to invest to achieve your goals. Register now at learngrowinvestclub.com.